Cold Reckoning presents Blood and Dust, the Hargrove Legacy. On the night of October 14th, 2019, the Hargrove barn burned to the ground. 19 horses died, $300,000 in equipment gone in one night. The fire marshal ruled it an accident, but the fire marshal had never met Ruth Hargrove. The Hargrove Ranch had stood since 1952. Earl built it with $800 and a broken-down truck. By 2019, it was worth $47 million, and every member of his family wanted a piece. Before Earl was even cold in the ground, what no one knew that night was that the fire wasn't the beginning of the betrayal. It was the end. The plan had started 18 months earlier in a lawyer's office with a woman named Savannah and a will that was about to be rewritten. Earl Hargrove loved three things: his land, his cattle, and his wife, Ruth. He should have loved them in a different order. Cole was his father's son, quiet, hardworking, hands stained with red Texas dirt. Wade was his mother's son, smooth-talking, hollow behind those blue eyes. Cole married Darlene Mason in 1998, a school teacher from Amarillo with no money and a good heart, which was exactly two things Ruth Hargrove could not forgive. The wrong seat at Thanksgiving, the missing invitation, the Christmas card that read, "To Cole and family." Never Darlene by name. 21 years of it. Then, in the spring of 2018, Wade brought home Savannah. Nobody knew her last name for the first 3 months. Nobody asked. She was stunning in the way that makes people stop thinking. That was exactly the point. Savannah wasn't Wade's girlfriend. She was his weapon, and Ruth Hargrove had loaded her. Earl's original will was simple. The ranch split equally between Cole and Wade. Cole had every reason to believe nothing had changed. He was wrong. In September 2018, Earl rewrote everything. The new will left 80% of the estate to Wade. Cole received $200,000 and a note. "You'll land on your feet, son." Only one person found out before Earl died. Lily Hargrove, Cole's 24-year-old daughter, found the new will by accident one Tuesday afternoon. She sat in that office for 45 minutes without moving. Then she photographed every page and told no one. In the Hargrove family, the person who speaks first loses. What none of them knew was that the will was only half the plan. Ruth and Savannah had been meeting in secret for 7 months, not at the ranch, at a diner 60 miles away in Midland, Texas. The waitress thought they looked like mother and daughter. They were not. They were architect and instrument, and the barn fire was scheduled for the following Friday. The fire served two purposes. First, the insurance claim, $1.2 million, would go directly to Wade's account. Second, Cole would be blamed. The barn had been transferred to Cole's name in a document he had never seen, never signed. Doc Reeves had notarized it anyway. Cole Hargrove was arrested 14 days after the fire. Arson and insurance fraud. He stood in the driveway of the ranch he had worked for 30 years. His mother watched from the front porch, did not come down, did not say a word. She held a coffee mug and watched her eldest son put in a police car. The expression on her face, witnesses said, was the closest thing to peace they had ever seen on a human being. What Ruth did not know was that Darlene had been keeping her own record for 11 years. Every snub, Every forged document quietly copied. Every overheard phone call written down. In a spiral notebook, inside a hollowed-out Bible. Third shelf of her bedroom closet. She had already called a lawyer, not Doc Reeves. A different kind of lawyer entirely. The trial lasted 9 days. Darlene's notebook, combined with Lily's photographs, proved the conspiracy. Doc Reeves flipped in 48 hours and gave up everyone. Wade wept on the stand. Nobody believed him. Nobody cared. On Bay 7, prosecutors introduced a life insurance policy on Earl Hargrove. $6 million. The beneficiary was not Ruth. It was not Wade. It was Savannah, under her real name. Her real name was Savannah Reeves. Doc Reeves was her father. They had been running this same scheme in 3 other states. Ruth was convicted of conspiracy, fraud, and accessory to arson. Savannah and her father were convicted of racketeering in federal court. Cole was fully exonerated. The ranch, all 4,000 acres, awarded to Cole and Darlene. Earl died 6 weeks after the verdict. In the room he'd slept in for 60 years, Cole was holding his hand. Earl never spoke about the will. He never explained why. Some things in Texas, like the dust, just settle and don't move again. The Hargrove Ranch is still standing. Greed has a shorter lifespan than land. It was never about the money. It was about control. About who decides what a family is worth and who gets left out of the count entirely. Darlene kept a record for 11 years because she knew the truth would matter one day. She was right. She always was. If this story hit you the way it hit me, subscribe, share it with someone who needs to hear it, and I'll see you in the next one.